Yo, Bears fans, can you dig it?
Ryan Poles making moves at the trade deadline. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Windy City Digits. That's Vic. I'm Carl. Back again with another Bears video. We asked the question
live,
yesterday.
Baby?
Yeah.
Are we live, baby?
No, we're not live. But
we should do it live.
Do it live. We just got finished with the live stream Poles game. So everyone was kind of asking if Ryan was done making moves after the Roquan Smith trade yesterday. And I guess that answer was no, he was not done making moves. So first of all, what'd you think of the trade?
Right off the bat, I was excited. We got somebody for Justin Fields. I was kind of hesitant to get rid of a second round pick, but knowing that there isn't a great pool of wide receivers out there, I think the Bears had to do something. And Chase Claypool he had two really good solid years. He had two 800-yard seasons.
Yep.
He had one season where he had 9 TDs, and I could pull up his stats too. I didn't think it was bad, but there was definitely some, difference of opinion out there about how that trade went for us. How about you? Before I pull up some stats and point of views from other people.
I think as the day went on, I was reading more and more about it. It really sounds to me like Ryan Poles really has a game plan, and he did his homework. He mentioned the fact, it's been mentioned out there, he looked at the free agency list of wide receivers next year.
Mm-hmm.
They got all this cap money, 120 million plus next year. They looked at the list. It's not a great list of wide receivers. 2 receivers on that list are on our team right now, and Byron Pringle and N'Keal Harry are free agents after this year. So those were 2 of the receivers. And then the free agency, the draft class coming out of college doesn't seem to be that great either, unless you're you draft high in the first round.
Amen.
And on top of that, the fact that Green Bay was almost
okay.
Green
So
Bay
here,
fans,
I'll post this first. Okay. Let's see if I can make that a little larger for you.
Yeah.
It was looking like Green Bay was potentially going to offer the best deal for Chase.
Yeah.
But just a few hours later, who sweeped in?
Yeah. And that's the thing. Okay, so maybe I'm jumping a little bit ahead here, but a lot of reaction on Twitter. Some Bears fans thought that a number 2 pick was too high. We shouldn't have given up a number 2. Well, that's exactly what Green Bay was offering for Chase Claypool.
Second round pick.
And it wasn't like this was our only number 2 pick. We gained a number 2 pick yesterday.
Yep.
So we're still in the second round. Maybe we gave away the higher of the 2 picks, but Ryan Poles, like I said, seems to have done his homework. And he seems to think that this is going to be a good fit for us. Obviously, Green Bay thinks this kid is talented in Claypool. I think the college teammates, and shout out to our boy Cole, who's got to be ecstatic that there's 2 Notre Dame players going to be featured in the offense, right?
He's he's a 6'4" receiver too, man.
Cole Kmet and Chase Claypool, former Notre Dame teammates, now going to be reunited at the Bears. So,
but according to this article here, from what I got blown up here, it's saying the Bears sent their own 2023 second round pick, which is expected to be low. So did we get? I honestly don't know this one. Did we get rid of our lower pick in the second round or higher pick?
It'll be the Bears pick. So most likely it will be the higher pick because the Bears most likely will have a worse record than the Ravens at the end of the year.
That is true.
Most likely.
That is true.
As of right now, that's the way it's kind of looking right now. But you never know, with how the seasons go. You don't want to see anyone get injured, but let's say, for example, something happens with their running back or their quarterback, or, Lamar Jackson gets hurt or their defense completely falls apart. you never know, and we could end up getting the high. We could end up keeping the higher draft pick, and they get the lower draft pick. You'll have to wait and see how that plays out. End of the day, it's still a second round pick.
So Chase Claypool was a second-round pick, 49th overall of the 2020 draft. Currently, 32 reception, 311 yards for Pittsburgh. Here, I'm going to just go do his overall stats. Here's his overall stats for his 3-year career. You could see that he was. See, this is something that people were bringing up. 109 targets, only 62 receptions. So people were saying, is that a lot of drop balls? I honestly don't know that answer, but that is something somebody brought up, that you'll be disappointed at times with Chase Claypool. 873 yards receiving, 860 yards receiving, back-to-back years. To me, that's a solid number 2.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, like the guys that we're throwing to Claypool were Ben Roethlisberger, and this year
Yep.
Mitch Trubisky / Kenny Pickett, right? And this guy seems to be specialized if he's able to get down the field. Well, Big Ben wasn't throwing down the field toward the end of his career the last 2 years.
Yep.
And they were talking, and there was some talk out there about how they didn't properly use Claypool out there. I mean, at the same time, like they had Juju Smith-Schuster out there in Pittsburgh at the same time. So they had a fairly decent receiving core out there, but Big Ben just couldn't move. Like he just couldn't stay upright, and a lot of times there's just throwing the ball in a direction. So you can't really say with the stats per se.
Look at that.
Who
What do you
is
think
that
about that? This is through CBS Sportsline.
Well, look, NFL.com basically gave him the same grade. Basically gave the Bears a C+ on the trade. But if you like ESPN today thought it was a great trade, Colin Cowherd thought it was a great trade. They thought it was great.
Yep.
This is one of those things that you're not going to know until maybe the end of the season. It's going to take Claypool maybe a week or two to get used to the offense and to build up that chemistry with Justin Fields. But it's definitely a better option than Pettis or, some of these other guys. Look, Equiminius St. Brown, you never counted him to be your 1 or 2, right?
No.
But it does.
He might have been a 4 at one point if Pringle didn't get hurt.
It puts guys in the right spot. I mean, like basically, it'll free up other guys. This should free up Mooney a lot more, because now instead of your number 1 cover corner being on Mooney, it's probably going to be rotating between Claypool and Mooney, depending on how they use them. So you got another guy out there, at least a game plan for him to kind of figure out what's going on. So,
all right. So this is the feeling that Bears.
Oh, this is cool. I haven't seen this yet.
So I just said, how are we feeling about the Claypool trade, Bears fans? So Zach said a second and mid-rounder was my personal floor, so a high second is a fair compromise.
Okay.
I like it. Still got numerous picks from Jake L. Cash, 1.5 years control. Front office does anything right in draft and free agency. Let's see where he fits. Big upgrade from what we had. I agree with that.
Yep.
After all the drops that had to happen, it's a rebuild, but Fields needs to keep improving. Okay. This one's he will get to play the Dolphins twice in 3 weeks. I'm not sure what that meant. Canadians are litty though.
I have no idea what that means.
Chai Sports Takes loves it. Loves.
I'm just waiting for someone to post like a Viagra ad on one of our Twitter questions one of these days. So
Joe Glasgow says, I like it. It gives Fields opportunities to be successful. Bear down. This guy, Goff, it was only about keeping him from Green Bay. Pretty short-sighted and stupid.
What was his reply to that? Click on that and it says show replies. What did he say to that?
Not true. I just said not true. Can't be because they wanted to get a larger blocker on the outside for Justin Fields, or am I missing something?
Look, he is a good run
We're
blocker.
gonna skip this other one.
He is a good run blocker, right? But uh, he's a like look, it's not like he wasn't wanted, right? I mean, Green Bay wanted him, so obviously Green Bay thought he was he had some talent, like he could provide some value.
So I think okay. So look at his average. Here, I'll go down here. Another guy don't like it, has not done much. He has not done much. So I look at this average for his catches: 14.1, 14.6. If you look at the percentage of passes he's caught, a lot of them are deeper passes,
Yeah,
which Justin Fields really needs and he likes to do.
yeah.
So I think they like you said, I think they did their homework and found a guy that's going to match with Justin Fields' talent and arm strength.
Yeah, look, is the I think that here's the thing. Bears fans were crying that we didn't get Justin Fields any help, right?
Yeah,
You're not gonna pick up
yeah.
any help on the offensive line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your running game is pretty good, so you don't have to worry about that. This is not going to be the be all end all. This is not the solution to all of our wide receiver issues, right?
No,
But
it's not. It
it's
is
a
not.
good building block.
It's a huge building block. I mean, what were we putting out there before?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I think the other part too is like they're saying it's too much to give up. Um,
How we wanted okay, so you and I argued about this when they picked up Brisker. I wanted Pickens,
uh-huh.
right?
Mm-hmm.
He was a second round draft pick. We
Yeah,
just got someone actually that's more proven than George Pickens is right now
right.
for a second round draft pick.
Yeah,
I think it's actually better.
and
Whether
I think that's where it kind of goes to where Ryan Poles has done his homework. He looked at who was going to be available in the second round. He probably already has an idea who he's going to take in the first round if they're available, right?
yep,
He's probably either going to go for a stud offensive lineman in the first round, right? Um, maybe a left tackle or a right tackle, right guard, whatever the case is. He's probably going to go there. Maybe like a dominant defensive lineman, but he wasn't going to pick a wide receiver in the first round,
he
right?
was not.
So now he's going to go look into the second round, and he's saying, you know what? There aren't that many great receivers in the second round.
Amen, bro.
You know, so the fact that he kind of did his homework and was
I
able
see
to
you.
kind of see what's out there, right?
Yeah, I got you, man. I see you.
It's not that often we're like this.
Yeah, we're aligned, buddy. That's a win.
Yeah.
And we have to throw it out to Skokes because he's on our show all the time. He was jumping up and down, man.
Yeah.
Up and down.
Our boy Skokes. And Skokes is one of our guys that really does, talk a lot of Bears with us. So
Yeah.
what's with that guy, that last comment that you saw there?
She actually was talking about it doesn't matter. Bears management stinks and moving to Arlington Heights. They're going to be arguing with the city of Chicago about that. I didn't quite understand how that kind of connected with this pick.
The group of Bears fans that are out there that were not happy with this trade, maybe not happy with Ryan Poles and what he's doing with this team, the fact that he traded away Roquan Smith, like he made a huge mistake by doing that. Those are the kind of Bears fans that are stuck literally in 1985 and think that free agency doesn't exist and think that like all of our homegrown players, like we're crazy for giving away an all-pro
Correct.
linebacker, right?
Yep.
Look, the reality of it is that Roquan Smith, while he's a good player, don't get me wrong, I don't think he's a great player. I think he's a good player. And was he a good defender for us? Yes, but was he changing the outcomes of games for us? No.
Yep. No, he wasn't. Look at our record.
And he wasn't going to change the outcome of games for us next year.
Nope.
Or the year after that. You know who's going to change the outcomes of games for us?
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. Thank you.
Yeah.
That took a while.
I thought you were going to talk about management.
No,
Management is also not
Justin Fields
management.
is. It's an offensive league. The guy that's going to change the games for you and win games for you is Justin Fields.
I thought you might be going a different direction with our GM.
You
It's
always
going to
think I go in
be.
a different direction.
It's also good. Well, yeah, a little bit. Talking about him picking up his draft picks are going to be huge too. So, I mean, we're going to have a lot of draft picks, and the offseason picking up free agents and draft picks is just going to be as important as Justin Fields' development.
Okay, so before we wrap this up, like,
yeah,
look, we're only not 8-9 games into the first season, right? But
yeah.
how do you think the guys that he's drafted have done so far?
I think they hit a home run on Burham.
You mean
Braxton Jones. I'm sorry. I don't know. Velus Jones, Brisker, and Gordon are solid. So good picks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say those three have been solid. They shored up the offensive line. They got Tevin Jenkins to actually play well. So, I mean, that's more of a coaching than the GM. But I think it was a combination of GM and coaching be on the same page, which is great to see.
So,
how about you? Who else?
Look, I think someone brought up a good point today. I don't know if Velus Jones is going to stay as a wide receiver. Like, maybe
I heard that too.
Yeah, maybe putting him back in the backfield in like that third down back type role.
Yep.
I think is more suitable for him.
Like Dennis Gentry.
Yeah. Like that seems to be more the type of role for him. But other than Velus Jones and the couple of mistakes he's made, right?
Yeah, I don't even know if it's a mistake. I don't even know if Velus Jones is a mistake yet either.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just saying the couple mistakes he made in a game by dropping the 2 punts, right? Mm-hmm. Other than that, he scored a touchdown. He's done pretty well on these end runs.
Yeah.
Brisker, Gordon, and Braxton Jones seem to be great picks.
It's hard to judge them already. I mean, but I like the direction that they're going to. Their team was bad. They weren't going anywhere, and they needed to retool. So they're doing the things that they need to do to make this team competitive down the road for the long haul.
Were you surprised that Montgomery wasn't traded?
A little bit. I thought he would be the one guy that might get traded, honestly.
Do you think it's just that teams didn't want him? Like they weren't offering enough?
Well, yeah, possibly. But are we going to re-sign him? I don't see us re-signing him. So why wouldn't, if someone was offering us even a 5th rounder, would you have not taken that?
Look, I think if you could get him at a decent contract, right? Like at a decent number. I think him.
I don't think you're going to. I could see him getting more money somewhere else and being a starter. So,
look, we have the most money under the cap. It's not like you can keep that money. It just can't sit there, right? It doesn't carry over into the next year after that, right?
No, but like put it into the offensive line and defensive line too.
Yeah, look, there's some guys on your team that you do have to resign. Like it'll be interesting what they do with N'Keal Harry, if they want to re-sign him again. But look, I think that 1-2 punch that he offers at the running back position, I still think is value. Depending on what you could get in the draft, but like I wouldn't. I guess here's the right question, right? Would you rather waste a draft pick on a running back coming out of college, or would you rather re-sign David Montgomery?
I'd rather waste a draft pick, a higher draft pick.
Really, with all the needs that we've got?
A lower draft pick. I meant lower, sorry.
I know, but even out of the 8 with all the needs that we have, you would still...
No, because you got Herbert and Ebner. Herbert's pretty darn solid, man. I think time will tell. If maybe they're going to give Ebner a little bit more shot to see what he can prove in the backfield. But I don't know. I mean, you've got a really solid running back in Herbert, but you do need a backup. And does Montgomery want to stay in Chicago to be a backup? or it'd be the second guy.
Would you want to stay in Chicago knowing Justin Fields is the guy and that he's on the rise and this could be potentially a championship team in a year or two?
Yeah, I mean, I would, but I don't know if that's good for a guy's career. I mean,
Yeah.
if he's not gonna get the snaps that he's looking for, I don't know. I think
All right,
time
well-
will tell. But
well,
we got a
we'd
good
love
we got a good receiver.
Yeah, we got to end of the day, we got a receiver. Whether you think he's a great receiver or not, we pay too much, whatever the case is. Leave
we
your
got
comments
two-
down below.
2 number 2s.
Yeah, leave your comments down below. Let's hear what you guys think about
Bear
the
down.
trade, just the trades overall that he made. We'd love to hear what you guys think. If you haven't had a chance to hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell to get notified on future episodes. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace
Love.
and digits.